Hi, so I decided I better should do an update on my Korean studying journey using Rosetta Stone and actually now a lot of other resources. The biggest change is that I actually started my class at the local community college, Pima Community College, and I was very excited about that because actually spending time with other people who are doing the same thing makes it a lot more fun and less lonely than sitting here in my apartment all by myself with a textbook or Anki or a computer just studying away. So the class is Wednesday after work, so it starts like around 5:40, I think, and it goes until 7:30, I think, maybe 7:40. So probably 2 hours. Yeah, and there's maybe 20 people in the class. It's mostly girls. There's a couple guys. Me, me and two other guys, and then there's two gay guys, which is obviously perfectly fine. Just kind of I don't know. Anyway, so four guys total. Two of them are gay, and then the rest are all girls. So definitely much more popular for girls, and that's not a terrible ratio for me for the class. I'm happy. I'm not the only guy, and there's at least, so that's good. And yeah, definitely plenty of girls to talk to, so fun. The teacher is it's I guess a temporary substitute. The normal teacher, she's on maternity leave. She just had a baby, and she'll be back in a month. And the current teacher, I guess, is a friend. She's from Korea. Her English is kind of she's been in the States for 15 years, so I think her vocabulary is quite good, but her grammar is a little. It seems like she reached a certain point probably 2 years after being here with grammar and never got better, like the, etc. Didn't quite, um, never really quite got it, but totally, English is totally not a problem in terms of communication with her. So, but it's kind of nice that she speaks Korean more fluently naturally than English because she speaks tons of Korean in the class. She'll say something like just a little bit of English and then really focus on the Korean. And even though it's a second semester, and yeah, I like that a lot. Actually recorded the first class and I listened to it some. In the past, I tried recording lessons and had every intention of going back to review those lessons. It's like you had to get permission to record it, etc. And then you never do because it's boring. You've already listened to it, especially for me if it's Japanese, because my Japanese is so advanced that whenever I have a conversation, I totally understand everything the person's saying to me. And if there's one or two things I don't understand, then I say, hey, what's that? And they explain it, so I understand. And with the Korean, though, she's just going along full speed. And I get enough of it that, like, more than half. It's obviously she's grading it totally using beginner words as much, always, never using advanced words or even intermediate words just a tiny bit. Um, but my Korean's bad enough that listening to the class again on the recording it is kind of interesting. I tried it and I got through half the class and it was interesting, but I still stopped because doing review is boring and I'd rather do new stuff. Yeah, so the class is good. We're using this book, Integrated Korean. This is the second semester. We're actually still doing the first semester because they didn't finish the first book. They intend to finish the first book after 1 month. So a couple more weeks, a couple more chapters to go. And that's fine for me because I haven't looked at Korean since I took that class like 4 or 5 years ago. But it was a little bit of a surprise. I didn't have that first book anymore. Had to go out and had to buy it from Amazon overnight. Shipping wasn't too expensive, so it's okay because the book's super cheap. Anyway, I totally hate doing homework. I can sit here and study Korean for hours by myself, and it's fine. But I'm always doing whatever I want to do, like vocabulary flashcards, watching TV, or reading the textbook, or listening to I don't know, a podcast. Something I choose to do, and it's never sitting down and doing workbook exercises, which is the homework, and it's so boring. I did the first one, the review for integrated Korean, and it took me 3 hours. Probably supposed to take me an hour, but my Korean is so rusty, I can't just write the Hangul. I can read it, and I can write it sometimes, but more often than not, I need to double check it, or it's going to be wrong. It's going to be close, but not quite there. And so the double checking everything slows me down. I think that was true also when I did Japanese back in the day. I was much slower than my classmates. They would just speed through the homework, whereas I was so careful and going slow. And you might think that means I was always right and I got it, but not so much. I mean, I think I was more right than they were, but not by very much. It's kind of, yeah, so I'm very slow. I ordered this from Amazon Japan, and it came in just a few days. Global shipping. I was amazed. And this too. And you probably don't know Japanese, so you don't know what the heck this says. It says Kanzen Masta Hangul Bunpo. So Kanzen, this is just a kind of a series. It's very, I used them for learning Japanese. They had kind of the most in-depth, best Japanese explanations for studying for the Japanese language proficiency test. They have a very good reputation. There's other publishers with good reputations too, but I was most impressed with them just because they had the most in-depth explanations. Not necessarily the most entertaining material, but kind of a good, not too many exercises, very, very good explanations and very solid. And so yeah, Kanzen Master, I guess that's Complete Master, Hangul, Bunpo's Grammar. I suspect I don't know how to say grammar in Korean, but it's probably the same Chinese letters, just pronounced differently, maybe. This book's kind of cool. It says, you can see has CDs. It says 2. And this is what it looks like inside. You get basically lots of sentences. And it says here, it says, Shokyu kara jokyu made manaberu. So from beginner to advanced studying. And again, I think these Chinese characters are the same if you use the Hanja, just pronounced differently in Korean. So there's a lot of vocabulary that comes from Chinese is very similar to Japanese. So I always look for that when I'm studying. A lot, not every, just a little bit. I don't know, maybe 20% it seems of the, because even if they both come from Chinese, that sometimes it changes a lot. It's not, the relation's not so obvious. So this book it goes to advanced. So it's this integrated Korean is just second semester. It looks okay. I'm going to go through and maybe, I don't know, do flashcards. But this book has an audio CD which has I think every sentence. And there's tons of sentences. It's on the 2 CDs. There's a native audio pronunciation. They're just kind of going through it. And they go pretty quickly. Not super fast, but not slow like Rosetta Stone does a nice, good, slow pronunciation. And they're speaking kind of a natural speed. When I say slow, I kind of picture someone giving, like a good person, someone who gives speeches, someone who gives a good speech, that they slow down. And so that the audience can kind of really take in what they're saying. And it's not a natural speed, but it's for native speakers, you know, and speak. So that's kind of like Rosetta Stone speed, and these guys are going a bit faster than that. Be nice if they went a little slower, but it's still okay. And I'm trying to think. I just got this book yesterday. I'm trying to think how to utilize it. I'm thinking of actually putting it into Anki. I want to scan it. I'm going to go on YouTube. How to scan a book as quickly and easily as possible, because it's so boring to scan a book. And then use the images and the audio to make flashcards. Yeah, I think I might set it up so side 1 I listen to the native audio, and then side 2 has the image from the book, just showing what I heard, so I can kind of listen and then check myself. Um, what I really like, I was going on YouTube also. There's some YouTube videos explaining Korean grammar for Japanese speakers, and it doesn't go to advanced. This book is so complete. It has so much. The videos that I found, which are maybe I'll look for more. Maybe there's more advanced. That's CMIL. It's actually, if you, there was these teachers have English as well as Japanese and also Thai and Chinese lessons. Anyway, one of the English lessons went viral, something about Coke. And so, do you want Coke? I forget what it was, but it was kind of funny the way with her accent. And it's that publisher, those people, and I think they do a good job. Anyway, the lady using the Japanese, it's a very small accent, but her Japanese is very easy to understand. So, forget where I was going with that. Anyway, I like the way the Japanese grammar matches up so well with Korean. And so it's going to make, because I already have, because I studied Japanese, it's like the hard way, obviously, memorizing and kind of compartmentalizing the different kinds of grammar. And so if I can say, oh, here's the Korean equivalent, I think it's easier to remember, and I understand more quickly than using English, although English isn't terrible because, I don't know, anyway. But it's more fun if I think if I use the Japanese too. Yeah. So doing lots of Anki, and I'm also still using. I kind of fluctuate, but I want to. Sometimes I get bored of the way I'm studying, and I change my mind. But this app here, I'm not sure if I showed you guys, but it's on the iPhone. This is a very good app. They offer this app publisher makes it for Japanese, Korean. I think they have Chinese and maybe another Asian language. I don't know. It seems like the people that made this app looked at Anki and thought, "Oh, this is a really good spaced repetition. It's a great idea, and we could make an app for smartphones for people just kind of doing it the way we want to do it, and with native audio, and just make it easier and accessible for people." And so that seems to be what they did. It's got a lot of ways to study. I'm currently using change it up. I'm currently using the audio on side one, and then because I seem to do it works best. So Kuruda, and then side two has the English to choose. So I guess I have about 281 or 300 vocabulary words so far on this. Yeah, some of them stick, and some of them just, I guess, leeches. They just don't want to be remembered. So that's basically it. So I'm having a great time with the class. And I was very worried about how well I would compare to the other students. You're supposed to say the language thing. It's not a race. It's not a competition. Well, it's not, but you compare yourself. At least to the people sitting next to me, I'm definitely okay. It seemed to be no problem. Writing Hangul was probably my weakest point because I didn't. Even when I did my review, I didn't write Hangul. I just read it with Rosetta Stone and whatnot. And of course, they had to do homework, and maybe they're more motivated to write Hangul anyway. So I think they're better at that than me. But other than that, I think I might have an advantage just because Japanese. The word order is my brain's much more comfortable with it. And so I can kind of make sentences and understand the word order without more quickly. But obviously I'm still a beginner. And yeah. So the current teacher, she uses lots of Korean, and I love it. But the regular teacher, I understand, I think uses more English, and the other students are kind of like, "Oh, I can't wait for her to come back." I'm like, "No, I don't want her to come back. She might be really nice, but more English is not more better." Anyway, yeah, I will end the video. Thank you so much for watching. Any comments, whatever, I would appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great day.